So we're talking to Linda McAven. You've just been to the Committee of the Regions event here in Copenhagen. Now, obviously they're discussing all sorts of measures that relate to cities and regions. What was it that you were saying to the event?
Well, there were two things really. The first is that, we in the European Parliament and in the European Union do European legislation. But without people on the ground to deliver that legislation and make it happen, we can't make progress. For example, if local planning laws don't allow energy to waste plants to be developed or wind farms to be developed, then we will never reach our energy targets for renewable energy. So cities play a crucial part. And the second part was that local elected politicians are very close to citizens, and they can have a big job to play in terms of convincing local people to do their bit to tackle climate change.
Now, it's interesting you say that, because for me the takeaway of the event was that there's leadership and communication required from politicians to the average man on the street. Here we are in Copenhagen, everyone's talking about a global deal and a global initiative, but actually individuals, everybody, every man, woman and child needs to change elements of their lifestyle to go low carbon, to become greener. What were your thoughts on that message?
Well, I think the key message I'd like to put across to people is that it's not all negatives when we're tackling climate change. It's not just pain, there's real gain. And if people drive cars with low emissions, they also will drive cars that are cheaper to drive, because it'll be cheaper at the pump to put in energy because they're more efficient cars. The legislation we adopted last year will mean from next year the average citizen will save hundreds and hundreds of euros per year in terms of savings. If you improve the insulation in your home, you save on your energy bills, and this is very, very important. We saw a video there of somebody in northern France, not in the southern Spain, who has solar panels, and he's heating all his hot water from solar panels in the north of France. This is something we can all learn from.
So it's clearly doable, that was the message. Now, there was one other element that was very much communicated in the event, and that related to the way that local councils have impact over the transport systems, they have impact over the buildings, over the local council offices, those kind of events. Now, again, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, of course, public buildings in most of our cities are huge emitters of CO2. So the way they are managed is important. The way they are planned, it's local authorities who give planning permission to public buildings. The way we design our schools, our hospitals, all these things are vital. And of course, transport in cities. Transport in terms of the vehicles owned by the city councils. We have a green procurement directive now at European level to get more greener vehicles onto our streets, but also traffic management scheme at city level. So all these things will all add up to make us able to tackle climate change.
And the one thing that was also discussed that we didn't just mention was the housing stock. That was mentioned at great length as well, for obvious reasons. Now, what sort of period of time do you think all of these changes are going to take, and the financing, the money, it all comes down to the money. Where will these things come from?
Well, I think we can start by new build. We should have stricter planning rules for new build houses. There's a lot more we can do to stop houses losing most of their heat like they do at the moment. Part of the solution to the financial crisis and unemployment can be to have schemes to insulate houses, and that's already happening in many countries. In my own country, for example, my father, who's a pensioner, who's in his late 70s, the local authority in his town, they have a scheme that somebody comes, they insulate your house, they make it warmer, and this saves, it's better for him, it's better for the environment, and it's better on his pocket as well.
So win-wins all round. Linda
Yeah.
McAven, thank you very much for your time.